Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, it's absolutely hell out there in terms of the weather. It's raining, it's pouring, we got typhoons everywhere, we got storms everywhere, and yet you still get to listen to two idiots talking about shitty anime. It's the EHRPG podcast, episode I don't actually know anymore. I'm Guru, that's Chewy. How's it going, Lucas?
As per tradition, we're gonna go through what exactly the episode is. Marcel, what is your guess?
39.
Alright, Marcel says 39. I'm gonna go to the channel here real quick.
I don't think we've hit 40 yet.
I don't think we have either. I think we're like 30-something.
Yeah.
But let's see. Your videos. Let's look at here. So that's 31. That's 33. 33 is that one. This is actually the 44th episode, actually. Wrong.
Alrighty, well that's interesting.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, how about we start out with some sad news?
What's up?
It was actually just reported 23 minutes ago that actress and singer Sayaka Kanada has died at 35.
Oh shit.
Yeah. According to My Anime List, she was found collapsed at one of her hotels around 1 o'clock and was pronounced dead a couple hours later. She was the voice actress. She didn't do many voice acting roles, but she did do a lot of singing. She did the theme songs for the Ori Monogatari. She performed in the latest Sword Art Online stuff. But the one thing she was known for, she was the voice actress of Yuna, one of the main characters from Sword Art Online Original Scale.
Oh.
Yeah, and she was also performing in Idly Pride, which a lot of people like, and she was set to perform in My Fair Lady, which was a musical in Sapporo on Saturday.
Sorry, is that Sayaka Kanda?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said Kanata. I was like...
No, I said Kanada. Kanda, sorry, yeah. But, yeah, I just thought we'd acknowledge it, give them our condolences.
Oh, she was in Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony. Oh, she was that Kaede Akamatsu lady girl thing. Dang.
Yep.
Yeah, that's very young. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just so young. Hopefully the family and friends are able to mourn. But again, I just thought we'd at least acknowledge it, right? Give our condolences and whatnot.
Sure.
Alrighty, but let's move on to stuff of less, yeah. There were a lot of announcements over the past couple days.
Uh-huh.
A lot of them.
Wow.
First and foremost, a lot of shows got announced for 2022.
Uh-huh.
So, out of the ones that we did not know of, right? Spy X Family is coming spring of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Chainsaw Man is officially coming in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just get, Blue Lock is coming in 2022.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Ishii is coming up 2022?
No, Blue Lock.
No, the next one. Is Ao Ishii also coming out at the same time?
I haven't known.
Oh.
Bleach was announced for next October. Overlord Season 2 is coming in Season 4 is coming in 2022.
Sorry, we already knew that 1,000-year arc thing?
Yeah, 1,000-year Blood War.
Mm-hmm.
We knew that Kaguya-sama was coming this spring again. Made in Abyss was announced for 2022 last week. And just last week, The Devil is the Part-Timer is coming. I believe they said it's coming in summer.
Okay.
And apparently, wait. Oh, I just noticed this.
Hmm?
Apparently the Tokyo Revengers, the Christmas Showdown arc, is getting an animation.
Oh yeah, nice.
And I believe that was the end of the original. But if I remember, that's where the first story ended, right?
I think so.
Yeah, if I remember, that would ended with like the main villain finally getting stopped, and they're going to the next ones.
Hmm.
No. It's just before.
Is that the one before the?
It's the newest arc. Like I just read it here. It's Tokyo Revengers Christmas Showdown arc has been announced.
Yeah. That one's at the church, right?
I can't remember. All I know is it's just before like the finale. And I'm still gonna stand. I think Tokyo Revengers has made the wrong decision continuing after the first story was finished.
Ah.
Since the first story was finished, and now we're getting to this thing, and it's not as good. It's not as good. It feels forced, but we can save that from whenever we do that manga thing you want to talk about.
Ah.
But yeah, apparently that just got announced, so we got more Tokyo Revengers on the way. Bleach was announced, yes.
Said that already.
Dragon Ball Super has its movie coming out on the April 22nd.
Oh, okay.
And we could use this to talk about the totally not Mark situation. You know, the guy who had 150 of his videos completely wiped off the face of the earth.
The Toei stuff, yeah. Sure.
And it's really shown how bad the YouTube copyright system is. Because let alone could Toei just remove it for no apparent reason, for Mark to go back and, like, get all the videos back, it would take him 54 years.
Yeah.
Like, that's just... of course, that appeared about 2 weeks ago, and Mark has since... He has elected to move on. He did post a video stating his final thoughts. And to Mark's credit, he's not calling for a boycott of Toei Animation. But I think, again, what this really does show is the YouTube copyright system is just god-awful. Because while Mark's having issues, H3H3, you know them, right?
You mean is that the band?
No, H3H3, it's like this satirical group that covers like world news and whatnot. They're going through their own copyright system too.
Oh.
So it's just it really shows that the YouTube system is flawed because, like I said, you can copyright claim anything, but then to argue the claim,
right.
the person who gets to decide if the claim is true or not the first time is the people putting in the claim. Like, just think about that. The people putting in the claim, when the person...
themselves, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, they're either going to just say no and fuck you over, or just leave it to bots, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's just ridiculous. So that's its whole other thing that I hopefully is able to get settled. We have a Slam Dunk movie coming in fall 2022. Naruto has its 20th anniversary coming soon. We have more info on Matoseihe no Slave, which I really do like this visual right here. It makes me interested in this series. Like, have you heard of it before?
The Atto?
Yeah.
Can't say I have.
Like, that visual looks pretty good, so I'm excited for it.
But
one thing I wanted to pull on, since, you know, we're getting close to the end of the year, right?
Oh,
and like
Matzo say, oh, okay, cool, yeah. Oh,
like,
this is really etchy. Oh, this is really edgy.
But I'm looking forward to it just because I really like that PV photo.
But it's pretty well done, actually. It's really well kind of how should I say polished, the world and stuff. I like it. I like it. It's different take.
But one thing I wanted to go on, because you know, the fall season is ending soon. The next episode we do after Christmas is going to be like the fall review, and we're going to talk about like what we're looking forward to in the winter, right? I kind of wanted to talk about the winter just a bit, because oh my god, the winter looks terrible.
Just as bad as me.
Well, no, like, let's actually just take a look at what's airing in the winter, right?
Okay, give me a second to load.
Here, I'll just give you.
Where are we gonna look? Where are we gonna look? Sorry.
Okay, you done? Okay.
No, fuck you.
But what I wanted just to point out is I wanted, like, just take a look at what's airing in the winter. Outside of, say, Attack on Titan 2, the finale
and
2.
Demon Slayer?
What is there? Like, I heard good things about Vanitas no Carte. But
the second season.
That doesn't feel like something that could carry a season, right?
Oh, it's the genius prince that wants to live a whatever thingy life thing. That's okay. It's not like the worst.
Oh yeah, I did. That one's there. That's okay. We have the second season of The Realist Hero Rebuilt a Kingdom, and it's just like, okay.
Oh right, and then second season of EHRPG.
Oh, I'm gonna have
Marcel's
so much fun ripping that apart.
Favorite anime.
Okay, I did like we weren't doing the podcast when EHRPG season 1 came out, and
no, we did.
We weren't.
We were.
What? No, were we?
Yeah.
EHRPG season 1 was in 2019. We started last year.
No. We talked about it.
Oh, we've talked about it, but I've never gone into.
No, we kind of, yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. But I'll just do a quick thing. I have never hated an anime more than this one.
I've hated more animes, but it's up there.
This one is just, it's one of those things where it's just like I honestly think the premise is great, right? It's a premise, like, it's a premise that I like. The idea of the nerd being separated from his classmates and then becoming this, like, just brutal piece of shit, right? Right? And it's exactly the opposite. Like, here's the description of him, right? Okay. Due to the stress breaking it, and he's becoming his eyes also turn red. His personality was first kind. He was considered competent. But after falling in the abyss, he became cruel and will kill any person that wants to cause a misfortune. And then he becomes whipped to the first 3 girls he meets.
Lol.
Like, this whole cruel thing we never saw once in the entire anime. Add on, just...
Wait a minute. They're bringing back Sayuki Reload. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I've been mentioning how the winter season doesn't look good, but yeah, EHRPG, we got World's End Harem.
Hey, they have another sequel to Sayuki Reload? Jesus, what?
Where's the real one? Looking down.
They have Orient. They're the whatchamacallit, was it? It's the same person who did Magi.
Oh, the Magi series?
Yeah.
But like, what I was also saying, like,
same. I'm pretty sure it's the same author, but it's the same artist for sure.
Like, there is a show I am generally interested in, and that is My Dress Up Like that one, like that one has me interested. But other than that, I mean, like Princess Connect was good. Tagaki-san's always fun. But, like, what else is there? Fucking the Mahoka preview? No, I don't want to deal with that series anymore.
It's time.
Kuroshi Eye, have you heard of it before?
This looks like something Gangsta made.
Yeah, it does have that feeling. What about, like, Kenja no Deshi wo Naru Kenja? Like, there really isn't.
Wait, is this the one where he was what? Oh, is this the summoner that falls asleep and turns into a girl?
Going by the name Dumbloff, he's known across the land of a virtual world, but one night before going to bed, Kagami uses an in-game vanity case.
This is
like
this is a summoner one.
I'll watch it to get a good laugh, but I'm not expecting anything good out of it. You mentioned Orient, and I mean, it could be decent.
I don't know. It's
Doll's Frontline is apparently adapting a pretty good manhwa.
I feel like Maji needed to take a few episodes to get used to, so yeah.
I mean, Maji was pretty good by the end of it.
Yeah, but like you kind of had to get into it. And but honestly, like, some of the I like how they they incorporated everything like the real world into this sort of world without making it seem like the real world at the same time. Like at least past history and stuff like that. I gotta say, some of the
but I'm gonna be honest,
some of those arcs are a little bit
like stuff like this being here, it's just like I genuinely look at this winter season coming up and saying to myself, my god, there's actually nothing.
I might just watch Futsal Boys only. No, wait, no, I'm not gonna just watch Futsal Boys. That's dumb.
But like, I'll give you an idea what I'm watching for the next season.
Wait,
right?
What the fuck is this?
This is the latest show coming from Madhouse.
No. What is this? Is this a video game? Tribe 9? Is this a video game?
Maybe. It doesn't have a...
Extreme Baseball.
Oh my god, it's got the design of fucking Danganronpa.
Oh yeah, this is the one that where the designers say they're from Danganronpa.
But like,
this is a video game. What is it? What the fuck? Is this about baseball?
I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm looking at the winter season and there's nothing. Outside of like Demon Slayer and Attack on Titan, is there anything close to that in like expected quality?
Maybe Orient, maybe not. Maybe Psyche Reload. I don't know. I totally
I don't know. I think maybe I'm comparing it too hard to like say Fall, which has so fucking much.
Or Spring, which has
a lot too. Yeah. I mean, just look at we'll just take a quick look at Spring 2022, right? Shield Hero 2, Kaguya-sama 3, Spy X Family, Bookworm 3.
Ooh, Ashi.
Yeah, fucking Shikimori's not just cute. We got Love Live for people who like that. Yusha Yamusha.
Oh, Pari P. Komi. Pari P. Kome, sorry, Kome.
We got Black Rock Shooter, which I'm looking forward to. Kingdom. The Chinese Three Kingdoms anime.
Yeah, Kingdom Season 4.
Well, no, I'm talking about more the one where The one I showed you last time, Paripa Komi. You know, the one that
I just said that. I just said Paripe Kome.
Oh, yeah, whoops, sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
And
But, like, that's my point. There's already so much in spring, and, like, there's more to be added.
science fell in love, so I tried to prove it second season.
Yeah, that is insane, but it's fun. Like, again, there's already so much in spring. It just makes winter look so bad.
I am.
Like, I'm right now set to watch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 11 shows I want to watch. I got 10 shows I want to watch. That's it.
In the spring season?
In the summer, of winter.
Oh.
And, like, if I look at, like, ones I think that could be great, I think maybe there's 4. And that's just kind of what I wanted to talk about since, we're getting close to winter.
Probably gonna watch only 4 or 5.
Anyway, shall we talk about,
Jesus?
What we watched in the past couple weeks?
Sure.
I want to talk about how Aniplex is trying to kill 86.
Oh.
This episode was great. It was full of symbolism and absolute, just brilliant writing. We had moments where Raiden is finally calling out Shin over his shit. And we see they have a couple shots of railroads, right? And when they look at Raiden's, it's clear, it's straightforward, there's nothing blocking it. When you look at Shin's, it's all just full of dead ends, it's curved, it's turning away from Raiden's thing, as a symbolism of Shin trying to separate himself from the 86 squad, right? And Raiden, finally, is just like, I'm tired of your shit. And when Raiden actually starts berating him, they then show both railroads again as straight, right? So they're still sticking together.
Okay.
And all of Shin's the whole story about Shin is that he's like, he's completely fucked. After killing his brother, he said he expected to die. He generally expected that after his brother was dead, that's it, we're going to die. It didn't, and this has freaked him out because he has nothing. To him, he has nothing to push forward to. There's no, I need to kill this brother of mine. There's nothing, because everyone around him dies. He's the guy who has to put the bullet in everyone's head. And it's breaking him. And you see stuff. What I like about stuff with Raiden, and at the end of this episode, Federica does, is it's slowly chipping down that wall. Because the one thing I've said about Shin is it always feels like he's trying to push people away. He doesn't want to open up. He wants to die. He doesn't want to wish, as he said.
Okay.
So to see Raiden and Federica just kind of lay into him, right? It was really satisfying. But I think the big thing with 86 is we've ran into an expected issue.
Karakawa is a bitch.
Not Katakawa, it's Aniplex.
Oh. Karakawa's
Pretty
still
much,
a bitch.
there is no delay to 86 next week. The 21st episode will air. After that, it could be delayed for anywhere between 3 months, a year, or it could air right after, because they've officially ran out of their time slot. They have no time slots left.
Oh.
So it really just shows how bad Aniplex has fucked this up. Because again, I want to make myself perfectly clear. Aniplex is the one trying to push this anime out. This isn't on A1. So I'm wondering what's going to happen. Are they going to be able to find a time slot after next week, or will we have to wait 3 to 6 months?
Okay.
And I'm wondering, does that really affect how the anime is looked at?
Maybe.
Like, I've been generally impressed with how 86 has continued to be great, even with this adversity.
Okay.
But yeah, no, so 86 was something I just wanted to talk about quickly. Restaurant to Another World finished.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch the last episode.
I mean, let's be real, there isn't much different about Restaurant to Another World each episode.
I'm gonna watch it right now. Mute me. Bye.
But no, I liked it. I felt like it was an enjoyable series.
I remember the last episode being where the grandma finally came in, and she was a hero or something.
The last episode, I mean, that was this episode, Chewy.
Yeah, that was the... I didn't watch it, though. I remember the preview for it.
Yeah, the grandma shows up, and she has a talk about how, like, she's shocked the restaurant kept going. And she gives him the key that allows him that whenever he feels like, he can shut down the restaurant forever.
Oh.
And he says, nope, I'm going to continue going, and if I feel like I want to pass it on, then I'll pass it on, right? And then they had the whole wedding at the end of it, and... when I was writing my review, I was pretty much just saying how this show is simple, but it's good simple, because it has a purpose. Its whole show is built around how food and, like, just being together can build some of the weirdest and strangest relationships. Because, I mean, we saw throughout the whole series the amount of different people who would interact just because they sat down at the restaurant, right?
Yeah. I feel like second season was more about that than first season.
Yeah. The first season was a little bit more about, like, the two servers, since they had to spend a couple episodes introducing them.
I think it was just overall introduction and kind of getting people to, I guess, first.
And I mean, the wedding was a perfect symbol of that, right? The princess is the Empire and the Prince of Sand. Like, those two would have never met without the restaurant. Right? And it's good. I recommend it to everyone, but I think a lot of people will have to go in understanding that this show is not... I don't mean to be bad when I'm saying it. It's nothing special.
Am I loud right now?
No, not at all.
Okay, good.
It's nothing, but the show's nothing special. It's not this extravagant adventure. It's just a show about people having a good time.
It's just a comfy show, that's it. That's what it is, it's just comfort.
And I know we'll talk about our reviews later, the next episode, but I gave it a 7.5.
I forget what the official... I thought there was a Japanese word for it, but it was like something about... to label these comfy shows. I don't know what it's called now. Oh, well, whatever.
But yeah, no, freaking, it was good. I do recommend it to people. Yeah. Did you end up watching anything of Kyokai Senkai?
Yep. But there's still one more episode, isn't there?
It's a 24-episode series.
Oh, it's 2 cores. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. But, like, did you watch anything of that?
I did watch the latest one. The one where,
Brad meets them at the sauna.
Yeah.
I will say I am giving the show credit about how well it is making not everyone on the other side complete and total psychopaths.
Yeah, sure.
Like, Brad is an interesting, compelling character. The squad we saw fight Ghost a couple episodes ago was interesting. I do like the stereotypical Russians.
Quantity over quality.
Like, that just made me giggle. And yeah, no, I think after, like, a so-so start, I think Kyokai Senkai has become fairly good.
Okay.
I wanted to look at something. Okay, I thought it would have been better, but apparently Mal users hate it.
Kyokai Senki?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, it's okay. I don't think it's going to be anything better than, like, I saw somebody calling it, Iron-Blooded Orphans Light.
Mm.
Like, the way I say is I don't think Kyokai Senki is meant to change anything, if you know what I mean, right?
I mean, didn't they say this isn't whatever? I don't know. I don't know how it's supposed to change anything. Honestly, I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but it's good.
I think this. I think this is just. This is just Sunrise just. Kind of spreading their wings a little bit creatively.
I feel like this is them just, they wanted to make a lighter in terms of, like, tone mecha.
I feel like they're just trying out some things.
Because, like, let's be real, Gundam is, like, pretty hardcore when it comes to, like, destruction. I mean, Iron-Blooded Orphans was a fucking walking travesty when it comes to how much hell it puts you through.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Super dark.
I do like Kyokai Senki quite a bit. It's not great, but I find it enjoyable.
I mean, we'll see what's going on. What's going on? It still hasn't ended, so.
Did you watch the latest episodes of World Trigger?
Yes. They haven't started, or they're about to. They're just about to enter I think the final.
Yeah, the final round. I'm looking at
final rank war, which determines the expedition team. Is so good though.
Look, I'm not. We aren't going to talk about this too much since I'm actually trying to catch up. I will say World Trigger is pretty good. I'm about on episode 5 of season 2, and I'm enjoying it. One thing I will say is the first part of the ranked wars was some of the most agonizing watch I have ever had. And I am hoping that as you say it's so good, it does become so good.
There's so much development, especially in the second season, you find.
But, can I talk about World's Finest Assassin?
Sure.
So, World's Finest Assassin is on its finale next week, right? And it's set up in the style of Lou is trying to save his love interest, Dia, right? And remember how I mentioned that Lou is like, his whole goal with his reincarnation is it's his life. He's not going to do what he's told, right?
Okay.
And episode 10 ended with Lou's dad saying his next assassination target is Dia. Right? And the show went the way I expected, but not the way I wanted it to.
Oh.
Because essentially what's happening is Lou is going to fake Dia's death, which is what I expected to happen, right? And the way it happened, I really didn't like, because essentially what it was Lou's dad walking him to that conclusion. Like, I think the show would have been done much better, especially with the whole idea of Lou trying to, like, be his own person. With Lou doing it without his father's, like, pretty much directly saying for him to.
Okay.
Because they had this conversation, and Lou's dad pretty much said, you need to fake her death. And then it turned out Lou's dad, like, married outside of the family, so, like, they just tried to relate his dad so much to him, when I think it would have been better for Lou's dad to say, you need to go assassinate her, while knowing that Lou wouldn't do it. So it's like kind of one of those things, like, I'm saying this, but I know you're not going to do it, and you're going to do that instead, right?
Hmm.
Because don't you think that would have suited the character more?
Where he didn't like walk you through it and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
like
It was all heavily implied type of thing.
yeah, yeah. Like essentially, his father pretty much just went on saying, "You need to fake her own death." I would have much rather Lou agree to assassinate her, but both of them know, like subconsciously, that that's not what's going to happen. Lou's going to save her.
Hmm.
Because then it works towards the plot of Lou doing what he wants, and his father continues to be a good father because he knew he wasn't going to do it, right? So it's kind of like one of those situations where it's like, you need to go assassinate her, wink, wink, right?
Yeah.
And I just kind of wish they went that way, because I think it would have made the whole situation go along with what the show wants, and the show's been like just saying Lou's going to be like doing his own thing, right? And then they had a moment with Tart where she's like, I know Lou's using me, but because I have a purpose, I want to be the best tool possible for Lou. And I'm just sitting there just like, okay? So you're now just contradicting your whole idea that Lou brainwashed this girl, except she knows it now. And it's just like, I really wish I'm glad the show has stopped trying to be needlessly edgy.
I'm already super edgy as it is.
Man. But no, I just felt like the episode would have been better if I didn't feel like his father led him to that conclusion. All right, so you got anything else to talk about? Do we?
Komi-san?
Sure, let's talk about Komi-san. I'll let you start it.
The next one was with the latest ones was the Maid Cafe and something else, right?
Yeah, that was last episode.
The one before that was also the was it the athletic thing event?
Yeah, I think it was the athletic meet.
Yeah. So I unfortunately did not watch these episodes, but I did read the manga. I watched up just to the episode right before. I haven't caught up fully. But I mean, it's good. It's good. We actually get to see Shosuke's face, don't we?
Yeah.
He's not a harem protagonist anymore, boys.
One thing I always liked about Komi-san is, like, this isn't to be, like, mean to the rest of the cast, but Komi is such a good character that even if the rest of the stuff around her was bad, I'd still watch just because Komi is, like, just really well written. I love her mannerisms. I love how animated they were.
Big wide eyes.
Yeah. Like, she's just
Cat ears.
she's just one of the easiest to look at characters in, like, anime. Right? Like, I do like that. Ooh! I'm just looking at, like, one of Hololive Gen 6's late schedules, and their collab ban is over, so now they can collab with people outside of their gen. So that'll be nice. But anyway, Komi is one of the, like, there's just an oozing feeling when looking at her, right? It just makes you smile. But yeah, and I watched the latest 2 episodes, and they were good. I really liked them. I especially liked seeing, you know who's one of my favorite characters in the show?
Who?
Comey's dad.
Oh.
I love him. He's a giant tsundere. But actually, speaking of a show that you liked, Miroku-chan.
Yeah, it's doing really well, isn't it?
Yeah, they did a kind of a surprising thing that I didn't expect that I quite like. So,
Actually had an overlaying story?
No, it's more about Zen, right?
Then.
He's the guy who's followed by a whole bunch of angry spirits.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I thought they were setting it up as like, oh, she just needs to conquer this guy because it turns out he's the guy killing the cats, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was totally not it. The cats are still around him, like the spirits around him are pretty much dead cats.
Mm-hmm.
But then they revealed that it was his mother that was haunting him.
Yeah.
And the way Comey called him out and willingly sacrificed her third protection to free him.
Miroku?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Miroku. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like she willingly called out the spirit, got her to attack her, and sacrificed her third protection. She has no more protections.
Mm-hmm.
And I found it really interesting and really cool, and I want to see how the finale is this week.
Yeah.
Like, just think about it.
By the way,
what?
Del Curry pops up for 3 and gets 3.
Ha ha ha, you're so funny. Other than that, there wasn't much other things I wanted to talk about outside of a certain show I'll talk about in a second. Yasahime is good. It's getting really good. They're right now having character-centered, focused episodes, right?
Okay.
So, for example, they did episodes focused on Setsuna's growth and Morha's growth.
Mm-hmm.
With Setsuna, she's trying to get used to the fact that now that she can sleep, she loses her demon powers during the full moon, kind of like Inuyasha did, since they're half demons, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they showed her power of how she essentially gave out plans to Songo's son, who runs the Demon Slayer Corps.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like, if the demon is this big, pull this lever. If the demon's split up into these, do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was really funny. And then Morha conquered a demon that really hated Inuyasha.
Oh.
And now this latest episode is focusing on Toa, as they race to save their mom, who is slowly dying due to a curse.
Oh.
But I kind of want to end this talk this week on Mushoku Tensei.
Mushoku!
To me, anime of the year is between Re:Zero2 and Mushoku Tensei.
What?
You heard me.
What?
I'm saying anime of the year is right now between Re:Zero2 or Mushoku Tensei.
Oh.
Like, 86 is great, though I don't know if I can kind of call it anime of the year if we don't see the fucking finale.
Probably won't. Not till 2022.
Yeah. Slime 2 was great, but like, my god, those two shows are so unbelievable. And Mushoku Tensei, oh, it was so good. So, we haven't talked for the previous 2 weeks, so, 2 weeks ago, right, they had the episode where they finally meet Orsted.
Mm.
Orsted is the dragon god, and they did a lot of interesting little things. Mm-hmm. So pretty much what happens is once Orsted finds out that Rudius can talk to the human god,
mm-hmm.
Orsted brutally kills him.
Yeah.
Like, it's just this big fight where he just beats the shit out of Rudius, punts Eris, and then kills Rudy.
Yep.
But then because of the girl next who was with Orsted, he revives Rudy. So that leaves the question of, like, who's this girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you learn about little things about Orsted. Here's the first thing. Anybody who's near Orsted is struck with trembling fear, and you see this when Orsted shows up. Ruijed and Eris were petrified still, right? But Rudy wasn't. And that was because Orsted's curse only affects those from the world. And also remember, the girl next to Orsted wasn't petrified in fear either. So that means she's from the other world as well.
Yep.
So that was a nice little thing. And then what I did like is it really just gives Rudy an opponent. So, like, there's somebody out there. Orsted wants to behead him. He wants to kill anybody related to the human god. And it opens more about, you know, the man god, Hitomi, and what his motivations are. And then it plays that, the whole fight there plays into the episode that came next, where Rudy, Eris, and Brujed finally made it back home. They finally made it back to where they live, and of course, as I mentioned, where they live is no longer on the face of the fucking planet.
Yeah.
And that's where things just start... Rudy just gets destroyed this episode, Chewie.
Yeah.
First thing, Rujed leaves, but it was one of those more like, okay, this was expected, but we'll meet again type thing. But, you know, it's still sad, right? Then Eris finds out her whole entire family's dead. And then Eris finds out that a noble lord is trying to essentially make her concubine.
Yeah. His concubine, yeah.
Yeah. And of course, you know, that's not great, right?
No.
So, with all that going...
Muscly female cat, well, that's tan skin and white hair is alive, though. Whew.
Yeah, at least she is.
Whew. Ooh.
But with how that's going...
Waifu her.
Eris, who at this point has nothing. She is literally alone. All she has is Rudy. He takes advantage of that situation and forces Rudy to have sex with her. And a lot of people are just like... So I want to focus on a couple things with this. One, a lot of people have been saying this is pedophilia because Rudy's a 30-year-old man. Okay, he has the mind of a 30-year-old. Who gives a shit? And two, I saw some people falsely saying that Rudy took advantage of the situation. No, he didn't. That whole situation was because Eris forced it. She took advantage of Rudy and his mindset because she was desperate to have a family, right? And three, yeah, we're going to talk about Rudy because, of course, you know, they have sex.
Yep.
Rudy, of course, gives up happy as can be, right? He then finds out Eris has left.
Yep.
And watching Rudy just break down for, like... We've seen Rudy beat up. We've seen Rudy sad, right? I don't think we've seen Rudy cry.
Nope.
Like, he's been upset of himself like he was with Paul. He's had moments of, like, despair. But he's never been truly broken, and this was it. Like, everything's gone.
Yep.
Like, I made the comparison. Eris wants to say she's alone, right? That she needs to be strong. Like, she left to become stronger so she could stand next to Rudy and not use him, right? And the reason why she left before he could wake up was because she knew Rudy would convince her not to go. Right? Because Paul, one thing that was pointed out that I didn't realize, is Paul, the reason why he knocked Rudy out to send him to Eris's kingdom, is because he knew if he stuck around for long enough, Sylphie would be hurt. Because Sylphie would become too dependent on Rudy. And that's where Eris felt she was going, right?
Yep.
But of course, Eris didn't realize leaving like that has broken the man to apparently nothing, because Eris doesn't realize that Rudy wouldn't have thought of it like that.
Yeah.
To him, Rudy thinks Eris just left, right?
Yeah. It's a one-night stand, goodbye.
And what Eris also doesn't realize is Rudy has nothing. What does Rudy have left? Yeah, his family's alive.
But they're all kind of split they're all split off, though.
Yeah, his best friend just left. A person he loves just left. His house is destroyed.
Well, his best friend doesn't exist at the moment, right? They got teleported away.
Well, I'm talking about Rouge Head.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about Sylphie, though.
Okay, yeah, no. But, like, I was saying best friend is Rouge Head, but, like, Rouge Head's not there.
Mm-hmm.
Eris has abandoned him in his eyes.
Sylphie and family are basically missing, and Paul's looking for them, and the maid has gone somewhere else with his other sister.
Yeah, they were able to save the maid.
But they're somewhere else now, right? So
Yeah, they were sent somewhere else. Paul and his group are still looking for Zenith.
What is it? I forget her name. The wizard lady. She's in the demon continent
Roxy.
now.
Yeah, Roxy.
Yeah. And he didn't put up on a board or anything, so she's still looking for him in the demon continent.
No, Roxy, he still hasn't seen Roxy, right?
And Roxy's still on the demon continent looking for her, because she didn't put up the whatchamacallit saying he's alive and heading somewhere.
Sylphie's still missing.
Sylphie's still missing.
Zenith is still missing.
Yep, Mom is missing.
And, like, his whole hometown's destroyed.
Yep.
And what they don't show is Ghislaine, the tanned fox lady, as you called her. She went with Eris.
Yeah, to train her.
Yeah, so he has nothing. He has actually nothing.
Yeah, and the Eris's family's gone, so he's it's all gone.
Yeah.
There's nobody there.
So, like, I get why Eris is struggling. She has nothing. But
nothing.
It's weird because, like, Eris leaving's the right choice. Mm-hmm. If she stuck around, she'd become too dependent on Rudy, and
she should have left a note, though.
She did leave a note, but she left like a bare minimum note because
she should have left a better note.
Yeah, because in her words, she thinks Rudy is so smart. He would have figured it out.
Nope.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be interested to see what they do with the finale.
I'm going to tell you right now, Marcel.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you right now, Marcel. The term quagmire might come out soon.
What the fuck is quagmire again?
So...
an awkward, complex, and hazardous situation.
Well, there's that, too. But, I think it's more reference to the other one, the soft, boggy area of land that gives away underfoot. Because, I don't know, I feel like this is kind of a spoiler, so I don't know if I should really say it, but Rudy, gains ED.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
Yeah, and he can't get over it.
Well, I mean, he eventually does because he has 3 wives and like 8 children.
Eventually, but it's not for a while. It's not for a while.
I can see that traumatizing him, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, your first time is forced because of someone else, and then that same person is gone. But one thing I will say is I want to talk quickly about, like, the maturity aspect of Rudy, is because a lot of people still see Rudy as this 30 to 40-year-old person when he clearly isn't. Right?
Yeah.
Like, he clearly isn't. He's a 30-year-old, like, yeah, no, he was a 30-year-old in, like, real life, right? But his mind never grew up. He was always stuck as in this fractured state.
Gosh.
I see it perfect. The one reason is Rudy is written as a teenager. because, well, he never really grew past that, if you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much once the trauma came in high school, he never grew up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the series ends tomorrow.
Yup.
And it's going to be interesting to see how it ends. Because we know Eris is fucked off, right? She's doing her own thing to get stronger.
Hmm.
What's Rudy going to do, you think?
I already know what he's gonna do.
Okay, but, like, that's a question I'm asking because, like, he has nothing. Right?
I think he's gonna just try to find purpose, but still
Obviously,
struggle with it.
that's going to be the big thing, but
And
how
the whole struggling part will be mainly, how should I say, will probably mainly come out as the ED and stuff like that, and then probably a little bit of depression.
Yeah, I think what's going to break him the most is the fact that
He can't get
right
over
now
her.
he has nothing.
He can't get over her.
I generally wonder who he's going to meet first, though, after.
What do you mean, like, out of all the
Like,
characters so far that we've
Out of all the characters, like, is he going to reunite with Paul? Is he going to reunite with Sylphie, Roxy? Like, who's going to be that first person to find him when he's at his weakest?
Yeah. I mean, I already kind of know, but I was gonna say it anyways.
Mm.
Selfie!
Well, actually, I know where Sylphie is.
Yeah, Selfie! I think it's Selfie anyways.
And I would be generally... Actually, I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen 1 inch of Sylphie in this entire second core.
Because she's setting up for the next season!
You'd have to think a second season is coming, right?
Third, isn't it?
No, this is just 2 cores.
Wait, this is the second core?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so the second season. Yeah, second season.
Yeah.
That's weird.
But yeah, let's continue our talk on Pokemon.
Jesus Christ, we talked so long about the anime review. Yeah,
So, last last episode we talked about Pokemon villains and ended up talking about Pokemon Special a bit because Chewy apparently likes that manga.
It's very good.
This week, we wanted to talk about rivals, since rivals are probably... Well, wouldn't you say rivals are probably one of the biggest aspects of Pokemon?
I mean, it's one of the things that pushes it forward, type of thing.
Like, I think it's one of the main aspects. I kind of wanted to talk and, like, compare them, right?
I think so, yeah. It's because, unlike you, who doesn't really show any growth besides actually leveling up your Pokemon, you actually see growth in your rivals or in your the characters that you meet type of thing that are more reoccurring. Including the villains, but yeah.
Let's just talk about the rivals. Now, here's a question. Do we talk about Trace from Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee?
No.
Okay, good. I guess we have to start with Blue.
Or, in Japanese terms, it would be Green!
Well, I thought this was Blue. I thought Green was a girl.
No, that's reversed in American standards, because Green was the game that came out in Japan. So, Green.
Apparently he has an older sister named Daisy. But anyway.
Yeah, you didn't know that? You didn't know about Daisy Oak?
No.
Whoa!
What I wanted to talk about with Blue, let's talk about Blue from both his, like, initial rivalry, so we'll talk about, like, the first games.
Well, there's a $5 bill underneath my
and then we'll talk about, like, him in the Fire Red and Leaf Green. We don't have to talk about him as a gym leader, in my opinion.
I'm gonna $5 boom
So I've been pretty much anti-Gen 1. This is a time where I'm actually not going to be. I think Blue is one of the stronger rivals.
I mean, he's gotta be. You made it to the freaking end there.
And here's the thing. I'm going to be honest here. I don't think there's that much of bad rivals in the entire series. There's a couple. We'll get to them. But for the most part, the rivals tend to be good.
Okay.
And I think one thing that works well with Blue is what you just said. The fact that he gets to be the champion.
And then he gets beaten the shit out of, and he's like,
that's really just it. The fact that he becomes champion adds this aura to him that a lot of other rivals couldn't get.
Okay.
He's always like this dick who's one step ahead of you at every moment, right?
Yeah, but then he also shows growth too, because I think he stops calling you.
No, he's still in the games. He still treats you as a dick.
He does treat you some way, but it's like there's still some growth, though.
I wouldn't say there's much.
No, there definitely is, because there's a whole like, where those are like weird theories that like one of his Eradicate or whatever died.
Yeah, but theories don't count for me because we can say theories all we want unless we see visual proof. Then it just doesn't really matter, if you know what I mean.
Well, then I think at this point, him being a champion has shown his growth at that point.
Well, it shows his growth as a challenge, right? And I think Blue being the champion is a genius move because it kind of showed that whole rivalry aspect, right?
I mean, yeah, but yeah, I feel like you gotta grow in order to be champion. You think he would have been a champion right from the get-go type of thing?
No, but what I'm saying is I think it's less about him. I more focus on growth as a person, right?
I am saying that he did grow as a person, though.
I don't think he really did grow as a person since he was still technically the same person the entire time. He was a dick to you and was always just like, smell you later and whatnot.
Yeah, but if you can be cold, you can still grow.
But he didn't really change throughout the journey.
Let's see here.
Also, I find it funny how in Pokemon Yellow, his teams are terrible. Like, I'm looking at his Pokemon Yellow teams, and they're just awful. He's got stuff like Sandslash, Cloyster. I also love how Exeggutor in, like, the original games only has 3 moves. Hypnosis, Stomp, and Barrage. But no, I generally think Blue is one of the better rivals in the series.
Oh, you went Eevee on this one. It's weird.
Yeah, because you get a Pikachu.
Yeah, I forgot.
But yeah, no, I think Blue is one of the better rivals in the series. I like how he's always one step ahead of you, being like, smell you later, boy, and whatnot. And that makes the eventual victory against him pretty sweet. Because it's kind of like the idea of, like, you got the last laugh on him, right?
Sure, yeah. I don't know, I still think there's growth here, because even afterwards, wasn't it, where is it?
I mean, he becomes a better person in, like, the next games, but, like, we're talking about when he's a rival.
Doesn't he also then get offered the thing right after the gym leader position once the champion thing is done or whatever?
I mean, yeah, but we're talking about him as a rival.
Yeah.
Mm.
I still think there needs to be character growth. I'm sure there was character growth when he made it to be champion of Indigo Plateau. Like,
Again, he was still mostly the same.
Yeah.
He was cocky, he believed he was the best, and then you beat him. But let's move on to Silver. Because this is when Pokemon decided to try and tell different stories with their rival. Because in Generation 1, we could agree that, like, Blue was mostly there just to be like, oh, he's this guy just trying to be better than you, right?
Yeah.
Here, Silver is cruel. Like, he is cruel here.
Yeah.
But he also has more of a story than just wanting to be the best, right?
Yeah, wasn't it something to do with...
Like I'm just pulling up all his teams just to look at it. I like Crocodile's animation. I love how he has a Kadabra at level 36. Holy shit, he has so many battles.
Yeah. He keeps a Sneasel the entire time, too, actually.
Yeah, but Sneasel didn't evolve into Weavile, remember?
I know, but still, he had Sneasel. He had a Sneasel. He had a Magneton. What the heck?
But no, like, you start to see...
What the heck is that? It's weird.
Like, the one thing that the wiki points out is that he is cruel, hateful, and power obsessed. And I can see the cruel and hateful part, because you see, he does not, like, give a shit about the Pokemon he has. And one of the things about the game is him starting to, like, lighten up a bit, right? Like, winning was everything to him.
I don't know about I don't know about cruel, but I think he's definitely hateful and a little apathetic. Or not a little, but he's apathetic.
And, like, once he started to lose more and, like, started to realize it, you start to see him improve in that sense, right? He starts to become a nicer person who at least cares about the Pokemon he uses.
Yeah.
And of course, this is building up to, the eventual confrontation with Giovanni, right?
He does... It's interesting to see here, too, but he actually has it's actually shown that he has a strong dislike of Team Rocket, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, and you do see that in the thing. He thinks they're just weak pieces of shit.
And vows to take them as any other weak trainer down.
One thing I love that they point out is his relationship with Elm, since, remember, he stole the Pokemon.
He also stole another Pokemon, apparently, from a trainer in Cianwood City.
But, like, eventually, Elm expressly states that Silver's Pokemon have come to trust him. And Elm lets him keep the Pokemon. So, like, he's good, but I don't think he's better than Gary. Like, it's weird. I'm normally the anti-Gen 1 person, right?
I mean, you're also pro-growth as well, usually, but...
And it's weird. It's weird. I'm pro-growth, yet I just really like the story of Gary always being one step ahead of you. Gary always being that dick of a person, right? Like, throughout the most of it, Gary's just a dick. He's one step ahead of you all the time, right? And when you finally beat him, it's satisfying. But with Silver, it's more about you just feel sad for him.
Do I?
Well, I do. He seems like a genuine unhappy person who throughout the game does grow, but I don't think there's that satisfying conclusion that you had with Blue.
Okay.
That's kind of my point.
Okay.
And now let's talk about characters that suck. I think
Brendan May suck!
Yeah, Brendan and May as rivals are terrible.
They didn't even show up that much, man.
They don't show up that much. They don't do really anything.
My god. They were non-existent in, like, the last part of the game. It sucks.
Yeah.
Even in the remake. Where were they?
But
Where are you, you bitch?
what I will say is Wally makes up for that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Wally, even though you only battle him technically once, you have this one battle in Malvile City that I don't really give a shit about.
Like, Brendan and May get a fucking Meg Cargo. A Meg Cargo if you pick Torchic. A Meg Cargo!
Mm-hmm.
Eat my ass.
But the one thing I like about Wally is that Wally was always built up as this weak kid. So to see him, grow to the point where, like, he's one step away from the Elite Four, and able to mega evolve, right? Like, it just kind of feels like they had two half rivals, if you know what I mean, right?
Okay, yeah.
Like,
okay.
Brendan and May are there to be those, like, guys who show up and, sometimes you battle them. Like, what I will say is that their, I want to say, second battle? Yeah, their second battle in Emerald always gave me shits.
Their second battle.
It's the battle they meet when you're on the bridge heading to Mauville. It's the third one, actually. So when you're heading to Mauville, I don't know why, but as a kid, that battle would kick my ass.
Is it the optional one?
No, it's the one just after it. It's where they have 3 Pokemon.
Is it the one underneath the biking bridge or whatever?
No, it's in between the city where you first meet Team Aqua or Team Magma and Mauville City. Oh yeah, it would be underneath the biking bridge.
Okay, yeah, all right.
But here's the thing that
Really,
always pissed me off.
That battle
Yeah.
got you. Really?
Yeah, as a kid, that battle would kick my ass.
What the fuck, dude?
I don't know why. I sucked at games when I was a kid.
What the fuck, dude?
Dude, I couldn't beat Paper Mario as a kid.
What the fuck, dude?
I'm not kidding.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, I was terrible at video games when I was a kid.
Okay.
Granted, as a kid, I used to only level up one Pokemon, and it was the starter.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. But one thing, actually, I want to point out before we finish talking about these pieces of shit. They don't fully evolve their starter!
Oh my god, like, I didn't realize that 2 or 3 of these battles were optional as well.
Yeah.
What the hell? I thought that you had to fight them.
Like, apparently the 5th battle is optional.
No, the 4th battle is optional. And what the fuck? 5th one is the one in Lily Cove City. That one's apparently optional.
And here's the thing. They fixed it. They fixed this in the remake. That 5th battle, they do have evolved starters. But it's just, no, they're not good rivals. Wally's better, but Wally doesn't show up enough to be great.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Let's talk about Barry.
Barry!
By that, I mean, Diet Gary.
Diet Gary.
Essentially, that's what he is.
Diet Gary.
He is essentially Diet Gary.
Diet Gary. I like his team better than Gary's though.
Oh yeah, and he's definitely nicer, and you can see some growth in him and him just trying to be a better trainer. But like, He's essentially just Gary again, you know. He's always ahead of you, always being annoying, but like it's more of this like, okay, Barry, you're an idiot, but we like you annoying.
I don't like Rapidash though. Maybe that's about my.
Yeah, nobody likes Rapidash.
I like Heracross and Staraptor and the Snorlax. Rosary, kind of.
I love how he has a Munchlax.
Yeah.
But like his fifth battle is pretty tough. I mean, he's got good teams in both.
Is that the one in? Oh, that's the one right at the Pokemon League.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Essentially, he has guaranteed Staraptor, Heracross, and Snorlax, and occasionally he'll switch out stuff for like Roserade, Floatzel, or Rapidash.
Staraptor has a freaking Focus Sash. What the hell? The Floatzel's a Quick Claw. What the hell? What is this bullshit?
And then he's got like his super teams, which are the exact same Pokemon, just trained up to perfection. But yeah, no, I think Barry's a good rival.
Yeah,
I just
he's more endearing than Gary for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of growth because not only does he lose to you, but he loses to Team Galactic. And
yeah, him losing to Galactic was surprising.
And then, like, how the bomb went off and stuff like that, and he blamed himself because he couldn't help out. It's just like, he wanted to be strong enough that he could, he wouldn't lose to anybody anymore, even more, so.
Yeah, he felt he was hit the hardest by the suffering of, like, Uxie, Mesprit, and Azel.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like, Barry's good, but this is what I'm saying with a lot of rivals. They don't have the conclusion that Gary had.
Yeah, in the end, Barry just didn't challenge the Pokemon League because he lost you right in front of it.
Yeah.
And then he goes and trains on Battle Island.
Frontier, I do like his relationship with his father.
Oh, yeah. But then all he does is just stays in the resort area. Or not, is it the resort area of the Battle Frontier if you're in Platinum? He's just outside that cafe all the time.
I don't know. I think the only time you can rematch with Barry is apparently after you get the Hall of Fame 20 times.
Really? I don't think that's... Is that for BDSP only?
Yeah, BDSP.
Okay, yeah. Wow.
But shall we move on to Black and White? Because this is where the rivals get good. Let's start with the weakest rival, Bianca.
You're a weakest rival, you bitch.
Well, no, she is the weakest rival because that's her story.
You're the weakest rival, you bitch.
I don't know if I'm different in this. I really like Bianca.
Let's see. Sure.
I like her from the fact that she's weak, but she's meant to be weak. Right? Like, she's not meant to be strong. Her story is about trying to follow her dream. She just wants to travel the world. And eventually, you know, she becomes the professor's assistant, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the weakness is the main key. And we see this when her father catches up to her. But her father and the gym leader, Elsa, convince her to follow the dream, right?
I think you mean the... What? Right, no, I think you mean the gym leader convinces the dad that... Yeah.
Well, Bianca's also there to help, but Elsa and Bianca get through it, right?
Yeah.
And I just think she's an interesting addition because we've never seen a game where we have a rival like this be purposely weak.
Okay.
Because, like, sure, May and Brendan weren't great, but they weren't meant to be weak. They were meant to be challenges, right?
Yeah. There was I guess they're supposed to be. Yeah.
And one of the things that is pointed out is that she becomes a Pokemon researcher because she understands that I may not be the best battler, but I can help people the other way, right?
Yeah.
And I think she's decent, but the other two rivals are better. Sharon.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Like, Sharon, personality-wise, is like, I am the analytical man who will find everything in every which way I can to deal with Pokemon, right?
I don't know about that last part, but he is definitely analytical and stuff like that. And he's a witty and intellectual, but I don't know. He's a little difficult. I want to say that. He's more. He has some. He's kind of got like a little bit the too cool for school type of vibe.
I think he's a bit aloof.
I think he's just an impatient little wanker.
But he's a fun rival. I will say his team sucks. I don't know why they gave the rivals one of the monkey Pokemon.
They gave him all the monkey Pokemon.
Yeah. So, like, it's an Unifezant, which is one of the worst bird Pokemon. A Liepard, which is decent, but at that point, Liepard is fucking everywhere, right? And then the starter. I will say his team, after becomes better, it essentially just adds a Gigalith, which was actually one of the more underrated Pokemon in Gen 5, and a Haxorus.
Hmm.
And of course, like Bianca, Sharon becomes something different. He becomes the first gym leader.
Mm-hmm. And he's also a teacher.
Yeah.
He's a teacher at the Aspersha Trainer School.
But let's be real, the best rival in the game, and probably the best rival in the series, is N.
Okay, so we need to touch a little bit more, I feel. In the whole black and white thematic, the whole truth and ideals type of clashing type of thing. Like, you know how it's like yin yang type of thing with the black and white and Reshiram and Zekrom. And Sharon was apparently representing
ideals,
those who pursue ideals. And he pursued the ideal of strength, but like he never had a good reason why he strived for that strength. And then there was that point where Alder Alder
calls him out on it.
Calls him out, and he starts to think about it, and then what was it? He mentions that actually one of the Elite Four, Marshall, was very similar to him as well. It's like they're trying to figure out what their ideal, or why they strive for such an ideal.
Yeah, their purpose.
Yeah. Why do they want to be strong in the end? And it was interesting that he found out in the end, like, the reason why he wanted to be strong may have perhaps, like, what was it? What was his... Oh, man, I don't remember what the resolution was at the very end he gave us at, like, Victory Road. I think it was he wanted... Was it because he wanted strength to perhaps... Was it the ideal for strength was because he wanted to perhaps be complete as an adult? Is that why he became a teacher and the first gym leader later on as well? Because he wanted to guide kids to finding their reasons for their ideals?
I can't remember, man.
I don't remember this part, but it was interesting that he picked to be a gym leader and a teacher in the end. But yeah,
But shall we talk?
Yeah, N. Yeah.
Yeah, N is easily the best rival of the game and maybe even the franchise as a whole. Like it's as you mentioned, it is a battle of ideals, right? With N.
Well, it's truth and ideals. It's truth and ideals. Yes,
Yeah,
for N for sure was definitely some sort of.
The one thing I've always liked about N, and I'll get to it with Hop. I'll get to it with Hop because I think it's masterfully done with Hop. N's whole gimmick of like only using Pokemon he's found in the route, outside of one time he uses the same Pokemon once, right?
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh, okay.
Like the only Pokemon he uses more than once is Klinkline. He uses it a Klink in the 4th battle, and then he uses it a Klinklang in the championship battle.
Oh, I guess.
And they point out.
Wait, no, that's what? Are you talking about? Okay, are you talking about the fact that he had a Klink and then he had a Klinklang afterwards? Who's to say that he just released a Klink and then just caught a Klinklang though?
I know, but it's kind of interesting to me that that's the only time he has a Pokemon from the same evolution route, right?
I thought you meant the same Pokemon in general, though.
It's not the same Pokemon, since according to the wiki, he released the Klink.
Yeah, so.
But I just find it funny. That's the only time we see him use something from the same evolution line, right?
Ah. Okay. Yeah.
But I mean, N's obviously one of the best rivals in the series. He is incredibly well done. His whole story with Team Plasma is great. The battles and the talks, especially. This is one of the few rivals where you're actually invested in his dialogue.
Yes.
And one thing I liked about Blue, it has a satisfying payoff, right?
Yeah, because technically you replaced the champion.
Well, he is the champion, pretty much.
Yeah, you replaced the champion battle with his battle, because he is the technically, I guess, champion.
Yeah.
You know what his full name is?
Oh, I've heard it's something weird.
Natural Harmonia Gropius.
Yeah, that's it.
Natural Harmonia Gropius.
Yeah.
Imagine calling your kid natural. It's like, who's a celebrity couple that called named their kid, was it Apple or something?
Oh no, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West had a.
They called their kid Northwest, didn't they?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But somebody called the kid Apple. I don't know why that's so funny. Why is it so funny?
Because we're horrible people.
Man, if you can name your kid Autumn and Summer, why can't we name them Winter and Spring? Oh no, wait, there is a kid named Winter, isn't there? No, never mind. Maybe I'm trying to look for a kid named Spring now. Where's Spring, my dude? Give me Spring. But yeah. It's interesting that you... Okay, one thing I think is kind of weird, but you see them, is that you see N's stepsisters, Anthea and Concordia.
I love their designs, by the way.
They're right in the very beginning, in the introduction or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't play really a big role.
I don't think they were meant to play any role.
It's kind of weird, though.
Maybe. I think that's maybe just you trying to expect too much about it.
Are you
They
sure
were just
about
there,
that?
They were just there to raise N.
Yeah, but
I will say I adored their designs though.
like you really didn't see them at all.
Yeah. But it literally says they were adopted by Getis when they were children and have taken care of N ever since.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just, again, they were just there to raise N.
I don't really see the point of them having character models.
Yeah, but this is Getis we're talking about. He's a sociopath.
No, I don't see any point to them being like having names or even having character models at all.
Who knows?
Like they have sprites. They have custom sprites. They have custom sprites and they have names.
Alrighty.
What's the point of this?
Shall we move on to Hugh?
You mean Churn 2.0?
I mean, I was thinking more less edgy Silver, but that works.
Nah, this guy's super edgy. He's just the edgier version of Churn.
I mean, he's
edgier, angrier version of Churn.
He's not good. He's not bad. I just think if, like, you asked who's the rival of Black and White 2, people wouldn't fucking know. Because who remembers Hugh, right? Like, his whole story is he wanted to get his sister's purloin back, right? That's it.
Okay. But he's angry. But he's angry all the time. But he's angry. Like, you literally say Team Plasma in front of me, he just goes into a foaming rage. Foaming at the mouth type of rage.
I mean, he helps old Team Plasma reunite trainers with their stolen Pokemon.
At the end, though, like, how he actually had to be calmed down by you, wasn't it, when he first saw them at Driftveil City, and he was just like, you're no different from the Plasma right now. Blah, 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 blah. It was like,
yeah, Clay was there to calm him down.
Yeah, and then it's
I don't know. It's just,
yeah. Remember, he initially refused to forgive them at all.
He's just kind of there, isn't he?
He's just a little angry little fluff ball. He's an angry, edgy fluff ball who, for some reason, still has the monkey Pokemon.
Yeah, I do not know why they had obsessions with that.
And Unpheasant, actually. Why do they keep Unpheasant?
Yeah. Shall we talk about rivals worse than Hugh, though?
Yes.
Holy fuck, Gen 6 is terrible.
But we've already said Gen 6 is terrible.
I just needed to say it again, okay?
Like, it's terrible on many reasons, and this is just another reason for it.
The rivals in this game are so atrocious. It isn't even funny. It's like they tried that whole... what is it? The idea they had in Black and White, where they had, like, different scalings of rivals, right?
And
it just doesn't work.
More like they just all sucked.
Well, I mean, you battle Shauna once, and she's just... You battle each of them, like, once or twice, and then you battle them... And then you battle them once at the final route.
Oh, actually, that's weird. No, Trevor only has 2 battles, one being the last one, and one being a multi-battle with Tierno.
The only person you battle more than once is Callum.
Callum or Serena, yeah.
Yeah, so like Shauna, you battle once at the start, and then you battle once at Route 19. Yeah. Tierno, again, you battle once at the start, you'll have a multi-battle with Trevor, and then you'll battle one again in Route 19.
He's the only one I think that has 3 battles with you. It's kind of weird.
It's just
I can't believe he has a Roserade, but no, he's a
yeah. Here's the thing: you want to know what move his Roserade knows? Just pedal dance.
Yeah, because he's a dance. Yeah, yeah. It's the whole dance thing.
Like at least his Crawdon can hit hard.
It's because his
But,
Crawdon
like,
has
it's-
swords dance.
Yeah, and then it has Crab Hammer and Night Slash.
Yeah.
But then I don't know, like they.
He doesn't even have like the fire type move on Talonflame. He has quick attack and acrobatics. Quick attack and acrobatics at level 48.
I feel acrobatics works though because it has the boost without holding an item.
Sure, but quick attack.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And he doesn't even have a fire type move. Like, what's the point of having a fire flying at that point? You might as well just get a flying type.
No, I agree. Let's move on to like good rivals again, please.
No, we're still talking about this. Trevor, who's apparently the smart one, has actually all moves in his Pokemon, but he only has the Pikachu Flababy in the beginning, and then turns into Raichu, Aerodactyl, Florges. I don't know. You still have a quick attack on a Raichu. I don't know. I don't know about this. This is... You still have Ancient Power on an Aerodactyl. So again, I guess you could get all the stats from it, but whatever. Still, I think only Florges was really... Eddie.
I just think kind of like they're just not rememberable at all.
Shauna has a Goodra though.
Yeah.
Is the Goodra any good? No, I don't really know because she splits off her moves with 2 physicals and 2 special types. Dragon Pulse, Sludge Wave, Body Slam, Earthquake. But, you know.
But shall we talk about good rivals again? Because, like, they're just bad.
I didn't realize that Serena and Calum actually had one separate Pokemon. The difference between the two.
What's the difference?
I believe Serena, at the very end. Oh wait, no, what? Oh, okay, never mind. That's kind of weird. I thought they...
The Sun and Moon's rivals, I think, are decent. Well, I mean, I didn't dislike Gladion and his, like, Shinobu-looking look.
Chuni?
Yeah.
I feel like it was just really, really edgy. I don't know about Chuni. He didn't keep on talking about, like, his hand hurts and stuff. His eyes blazing with power right now or anything.
It's mostly just, like, you know, the way he poses.
Yeah. But, you know, you could be super edgy and do that, too.
But, I don't know, I just kind of... His story works well with Lily, right?
Sure.
And he has an interesting Pokemon in Type Null.
Oh, yeah. Silvally is amazing. The fact that he has a Porygon Z at the end, too. Like, this is a combination of, like, silver and maybe a little bit of blue.
His team is interesting at the end.
Depending on what Pokemon you went with, he gets one of the Kanto starters that is weak against it, I believe. No. Same type. So he'd have a Charizard if you had a Litten.
Mm-hmm.
He'd have Blastoise if you had Popplio. And then he'd have Venusaur if you got Rowlet. And then the Silvally will be the Arceus that's strong that's strong against yours. And then he also got a Lucario. Like, he's got a lot of like strong Pokemon. Porygon Z, Zoroark, Crobat, Lucario, the Kanto starter, and Silvally with the typing that's strong against your starter. Like, dude, that's crazy. Like, he's got he's got variety. He's got like range. He's got like range with all of his types attacks and like. And him as a character, I mean, it wasn't bad. It's like it wasn't that bad. He's just this edgy guy that's trying his best to, I don't know, stop his mother and I guess help his sister. It's kind of weird. I don't know. I feel like Lily and Gladion are like two people trying to save their family in two different ways type of thing. If that makes any sense. Hello?
Yo, I'm still here. You're allowed to talk.
I was just wondering. But yeah, it almost feels like it. And then there's Hal.
That was interesting.
Right? I mean, at first he's all, it's chillax and, you know, it's a good battle. Wow, rock and two top good
He starts
time.
getting really serious as the game goes on, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like his growth is from this really, really lax person to find like, okay, there are battles that are really important, and I want to be the one that wins. And I'm like, dang, that's some growth, actually. That's a little bit of growth, and I'm going to acknowledge it. That's actually...
I like the surprise
Not
of
bad.
him being there to fight you at the end of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Yeah, whereas in the first one's like...
Oh, don't get me wrong. I still love that first one.
I like how he psyched you out there, too, at the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. It's like, psych! Not me! You thought it was, but who would put the professor as a champion? It's like, you did in the last game. The one that's not the sequel of this one. It's like, no, that's an alternate universe. Yeah. Boobity bop babbity boo babbity boo. Yeah. I mean, they're decent. And then Gladion in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon at least goes to Kanto instead of Lily, and that's fine because he wants to get stronger even more. That you know, he thinks it's best if he goes across the ocean, then go for it. I don't know. It's these two aren't that bad.
Yeah.
I find Hao's story to be more endearing than Gladion's, since Gladion's more...
Yeah, because Gladion's was never his own story. It was more...
mostly his mom influenced it kind of thing. The only thing that really might have stuck out as his own was that he went and rebelled and took Type Null away. That's pretty much it, really. After that, he's just like, I'm going to try my best to get my family together. Sort of, in a sense, but not really.
So shall we move on to Gen 8?
May. Sure.
I think we can just ignore BD.
Oh, you want to ignore Beatty?
I mean, what is there to say about BD? He's taken advantage of by Rose. He's an egotistical dick. But it is nice to see him become a happier person after he becomes the gym leader.
Yeah.
But the big ones for me are Marine and Hop.
I mean, like, yeah, I feel BD's story was kind of it was cut really, really short, so you don't really see too much until kind of the end, where he kind of fights you that one time, but...
Yeah, I agree.
Like, it's not bad. It's not bad, it's just not the craziest rival.
I kind of
out
like
of the three, at least. Sorry, go ahead.
I kind of like Marine's whole I need to like it's weird. I've always liked her appearance. It's like it's got the edgy jacket and you see the nice pretty pink little blouse. Right?
I don't know. I thought that was. I don't know. I thought.
To me, her whole goal is like she's trying to be more than just
dressed like that.
Edgy gym leader, right? Like you see with her you see with her ace Pokemon throughout most of the game before she gets Grimmsnarl is Morpeko.
Morpeko.
But of course, the star of it is Hop. Hop is one of the most brilliantly written rivals I've ever seen. I really like him. Because the best part about Hop is, well, you actually see his struggle. Like we mentioned how N switches out his Pokemon, right? But for Hop, he doesn't switch out his Pokemon because he doesn't like them, right? He loves them. He switches out his Pokemon because he's struggling because of his defeats to you.
Yeah.
And he's trying to like, okay, I can find this perfect combination, right? So it's kind of similar to what a normal trainer would do. Like, what we would do, right? So, like, for example, when you hit him at Route 5, he has all these, but then all of a sudden, oh my fucking god, I hate this mouse sometimes. But then he's like, when you hit him in Route 4, he has, like, the same Pokemon he's had the entire time, right? The Wooloo, the Corksfire, and the Starter. But then in Route 5, the 5th battle, he has an entirely different Pokemon outside of his Starter. And I believe...
Route 6, he changes it all up again.
Yeah, the 6th battle, he changes it all again. And it's only until the 7th battle where you start to see him start using the same Pokemon over again. And then, of course, you see the 8th battle, he's finally settled on a team. And it's a really interesting story because they connect it well to, like, his feelings of being the brother of Leon.
Well, he gets a Cramorant in the...
Say that again?
He takes back the Cramorant for a 6th there.
Well, I mean, in his 6th battle, he uses... Like, in the 5th battle's when he changes, right? So it's Cramorant, Toxel, and Silicobra.
Yeah, but in the 9th battle, he has a 6 Pokemon back. He takes one of the Pokemon from the very beginning areas, the Cramorant, and adds it to the team that he's stuck with.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, that's
and then he replaces it with Zamazenta. or Zacian, depending on which one you had.
Yeah, the 10th battle. I mean, it's just a really good story about a guy struggling, right? Like, he's battling through everything to try to become a better trainer, and he's struggling with it because, well, you're kicking his ass. And I really do like the idea of it because I don't think we've always seen rivals be ahead of you, right? Like Barry was ahead of you, Gary was ahead of you.
Gary.
Sharon was ahead of you.
Silver was kind of ahead of us.
Yeah, like everyone was ahead of you. Now you got a trainer who's behind you, who's trying to catch up to you, and struggling with the fact that, well, he just can't.
He just can't do it.
He's struggling with the fact that he's trying to catch up, but every time he gets close, you just are better than him.
Beat the shit out of him.
It's why I'm going to say this. I think Hop's the best rival in the game.
Wow.
It's either him or N.
Wow.
So what's your opinion?
I'm not entirely sure.
Come on, on. We just talked about each rival. We listed what we think of them.
I'm not really sure. I kind of just not really sure. I feel like I don't know. It's just I don't know. They didn't. As somebody who like played through the games themselves, sure the rival is supposedly the one that leaves impact because they're one of the more main recurring characters or rivals.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There wasn't really one I really connected to really that well, or found to be such an endearing character that I found them to be one of the best.
I mean,
ones.
the two I connected are the two I mentioned with Hop and N.
Yeah.
Hop because you can see again.
It's a different type of growth. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a rival who's chasing you. He's a rival who's trying to catch up to you.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't really. I never really left that big of an impact, like huge impact, for me to say they're my favorite. I don't know. I don't think so. I just don't have one out of the group. I don't have one. I think they're all fairly equal to me.
Well, that's fair. Alrighty,
except for Brendan May in the 6th gen. Fuck all these people. What the hell is this?
Yeah,
garbage?
I agree 100%. I kind of wonder if we'll have like a rival for Arceus.
I wonder if it's like the Diamond and Pearl clan.
Maybe. I will say I am quite excited for Arceus.
Yeah.
Gonna look good. Comes out next month.
Alrighty,
well, I think that's gonna be it for this episode. Remember, the next episode, when we record it, will be the reviews of the winter and talking about what we're going to be watching in this reviews of the fall and talking about what we're going to be watching in the summer.
Winter.
Yes, sorry. I don't know why they don't call this season winter.
I don't know why that.
Jesus Christ, it's been almost 2 hours.
Well, I mean, that's why I'm ending the episode now.
Oh, eat my ass. I'm ending the episode now. All right, boys, let's get out of here.
Alrighty, have a good day, guys. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.
No. Oh, God.
All right, now...
What?